jump board training. So today I'm going to go through the basics of jump board so that you can start to incorporate these into your classes. So I've got the jump board set up on the reformer. Foot bar just comes down one notch from where it normally is set, and that's just to make sure that it's behind the jump board for a little bit of extra support. It also means that if you are using a jump board in your classes at your studios, that you may need to service the foot bars a little bit more regularly, because it does have and put a lot more wear and tear on the foot bars with the jump board hitting it when people do jump. So just making sure that after you do have a jump board class or a series of jump board classes, that you double check the screws on the foot bars to make sure that they're nice and solid. Springs for jump board. You don't want to go too light. If you go too light, when you jump and press away, you're going to be suspended in air for quite a while, and that requires a lot of core strength and stability, especially to keep your neutral spine. It also means that people start to kind of bend their legs and lose a little bit of that control. Alternatively, you don't want the springs too heavy, because every time you jump, you want to be able to fully straighten your legs and point your toes. So if people's springs are too heavy, when they jump, they're not going to be able to stretch their legs all the way out before the springs pull you back in. So just making sure that it's at a level when you're watching people that they can fully straighten their legs, but they're not kind of suspended in mid-air for too long. So I usually recommend level 1 as a red and yellow for double leg, and then going up to a red and green for level 2. You do want the springs to be heavy enough to get the legs working and to get the heart rate up. When you're putting jump board in classes, try and make it kind of like an interval training thing. So you might have 3 sets of jump board during the class, maybe 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end, and 1 somewhere in the middle. Don't worry about taking the jump board out and then putting it back in as you go. So if you've got a jump board class, the jump board stays there for the whole class. So working around it for your other sets of work, so that you don't have to be getting up and down and taking it out and putting it back in again for every set. Aiming for about 5 to 7 minutes per jump board set, and then putting some more, I guess, traditional Pilates exercises in between. So you've got that interval training, thinking going. So when you're lying on the reformer with jump board, you want to shuffle your bottom all the way down to the base of the carriage, and then hold on with your hands. So there's no pressing up against the shoulder rest, and you're holding on to give you a little bit more support. When your feet are on the jump board, your toes are about 1 inch or so away from the top of the jump board. Never should your toes be over the edge, so it's always full foot in contact. And that's the same when we jump. When you jump, you want to jump from a full foot, and you want to land again with your heels down as well. So when you jump, it's a heel, ball, toe lift. When you land, it's a toe, ball, heel drop. And you're always landing with bent knees, so never straight legs. You want to take the pressure through the muscles rather than the joints of the ankle and the knee. So first little series we can do is like our footwork series in reformer, traditional footwork series with feet on the foot bar. We can do a parallel version. So hips, knees, and feet in one line. We can do an externally rotated version. We take the legs a little bit wider, toes and knees tracking out, heels in. And we can also do the internally rotated position. So knees together and toes internally rotated. So I'll show you those 3 first. Your feet are supported. You've got a neutral spine in Jumpboard. So you really have to think about keeping that T-zone and that core connected as you jump so the back isn't lifting and lowering. So it's an inhale to prepare, exhale to push away, straightening the legs all the way out, so fully straightening knees, drawing up to hip bones, and then landing toe ball heel with bent knees. So always landing with bent knees. When you jump, heel lifts first. When you land, heel drops down last. So up and down, fully stretching your legs. So that would be your parallel jump. Then we come into the external rotation, so feet a little bit wider, heels in, toes out, knees tracking over middle toes. Once again, inhale to prepare, exhale to jump, inhale to land, exhale, jump. Inhale, land, jump and land. Internal rotation, touching the knees, toes are internally rotated. Inhale to prepare, exhale to jump, inhale to land, exhale, jump, inhale, land. So always thinking of your knees pulling up your thigh to your hip bone. So they're just the traditional positions. We can also come with the feet together and the knees and toes turned to one side. So shoulders and hip bones are square to the ceiling. Knees and toes are twisted. So a little bit of an oblique jump here. So you want to keep those legs squeezed. Keep the twist as you jump and as you land. So making sure heel lifts first, then the ball, then the toes. Toe lands, balls, heels. So squeeze and return. Obviously you would have to do the other side as well. So you're really working into obliques here. If you wanted to turn it into a skiing, you would alternate side to side rather than just staying on one side. Up and twist. Up and twist as you land. Twist, twist. So you're getting into the obliques there, always making sure the hips and shoulders for that one are square to the ceiling, and it's just the knees and feet, alternating side to side. I would recommend each set of your jumping go for about a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. We've also got a position that we call third position. So with third position, the heel of one foot is in line with the arch of the other foot. Both heels are down, both toes down. This is called third position. We can jump from here and simply land back into where we started. You're thinking of your knees and thighs squeezing in together. So inhale to prepare, exhale, jump, squeeze, inhale, land, squeeze and land, squeeze and land. You would do it with the other foot in front. Squeeze and land, squeeze and land. You can also do a little change in the air. So starting with the right foot in front, for example, jump and then land with the left foot in front. Jump and land with the right foot in front. So for example, it would look like this. Squeeze, change, squeeze, change, squeeze, change. So you're changing each time. Now the heel of the bottom foot is going to want to lift because it's down on the jump board slightly. So you've got to really focus on pressing it down. And it does mean that some people with tight calves and Achilles and maybe even into the bottom of their shin may find that they do struggle a little bit with that, getting that heel down. So just watching out for that because it does take a lot of stretch and stress, which is why people with knee and ankle injuries or concerns, I would recommend not doing a jump board class for them because it does take a lot of pressure on those areas, especially if your technique isn't particularly perfect. Back into the third position. Instead of landing with a different foot in front, we can actually beat the feet in the air and land with the same foot in front again. So it would look like this. Back, front, land. Beat, land. Beat, land. Beat, land. Beat, land. And you would do it with the other leg. So beat, land. Beat, land. Beat, land. So you're always thinking in that one of squeezing knees and thighs in towards each other. We've also got the V jump. So starting in the parallel position, as you jump away, your legs are going to go out into a V and then you're landing back in this same position. So squeeze out and land back in, squeeze out and land back in, out and in, out and in. So keeping the knees straight as you squeeze out, landing back into that parallel position. If you're in parallel, make sure you stay in parallel. Ankles, knees, hips in line. The knees aren't rolling in or out, neither are the toes. So it's all that perfect alignment in the hips and the knees. Single leg. Now usually with single leg work, we drop the springs slightly. In a jump board series, you want the cardio to continue. So keep these springs the same if you're doing single leg work in a double leg work set. Otherwise, if you're just doing single legs, you may drop the springs by a yellow. So level 1 may be a red, level 2 red and yellow. You can do a simple single leg jump. So free leg would be in tabletop. Inhale to prepare, exhale to jump, inhale to land. So just the single leg, or you could do a little bicycle swap. So squeeze and land, squeeze and land, squeeze and land. Just a little bicycle leg. So you can do a little bit of single leg work on your back as well. We've also got sideline jumps. Just as if you were jumping, just as if you were doing sideline foot on bar, you can do sideline jump. So you need your purple block on the headrest. Springs, level 1 are red, level 2 red and yellow, level 3 red and green. You can do your parallel jump. So tailbone sticks out, same as if you're pressing rather than jumping. Take the top hip, press it away from your shoulder so you've got that gap between your waist and the floor. And using that top leg, jump and land, jump and land, jump and land. External rotation, same thing, making sure top hip is stacked on top of the bottom hip. You can do internal rotation too. It feels a little bit funny when you're doing it jumping. So I usually just stay with the parallel and the external rotation, but you can do those things just the same as if you were doing your your normal press. If you wanted to add a little bit of interest, you could jump, do a little lift up and bring it back down, a little lift up, bring it back down. So you can always do things like that as well, just to have something for the leg to do when it's in the air, but always making sure when you are in the sideline position that the knee is either facing forward, facing up, or facing down. So make sure when you start and when you finish, it's in exactly the same position. So we're not moving the knee and the leg around. So that's your sideline jumping. So you can do it like that. You can also do upper body. I'm grabbing the box. So box is on long legs, up against the shoulder rests, coming down onto the tummy with your springs. Level 1, go for a green. Level 2, green and yellow. Level 3, red. So for your shoulder press, hands as wide as they can go on the jump board, elbows wide. So make sure you actually catch the jump in your muscles so that your head doesn't headbutt the jump board. So it's a jump and land, jump and land. So you're not, coming in too quickly. You want the muscles to slowly take the load and slowly control the jump back in. You can can do triceps here as well, so bringing those elbows in front of the box. Pushing out, jumping back in, pushing out, jumping back in. Noticing you don't go as far when you're jumping with your upper body as you do with your lower body. That's okay. Do a diamond jump as well. So thumb and first fingers together, elbows out. The diamond is around about in line with your face. Push and land. Push and land. And when you are doing your jumps with your upper body, always thinking about shoulder blades sliding down your spine so that when you jump and push away, those shoulders aren't creeping up around your ears. They're staying down your spine just as if you were doing a shoulder press. The only difference is that we're jumping, we're pushing away. All the other technique is exactly the same. So don't let the concepts, principles and techniques of Pilates go out the door in the jump board class, because sometimes it can get a little bit crazy in jump board because people think, okay, I just got to jump, I've just got to get my heart rate up. Don't lose the principles of Pilates, don't lose that technique. So you're always making sure that everyone's bodies are in alignment, everyone's legs, hips, knees are where they should be when they start and when they finish. And it's not about how fast they go or how many jumps they get out. It's about doing the jumps, keeping the technique. So yeah, I guess don't substitute speed for the actual reason that we're here doing Pilates. There are a couple more advanced jumps that you can do. For example, in a horse kick position, which I will quickly show you. I would advise not doing it unless you do have quite advanced people in your classes, people that have done jump board for a while, and you can see that they're able to maintain their technique in the other jumps. Alright, so horse kick position, hands under shoulders. I put my hands on either side of the headrest, one knee down, other foot up against the jump board, and it's a jump and land, jump and land, making sure the knee faces down and the heel hits the jump board each time. If you are doing that one, same springs as if you were doing your single leg work. So level 1, probably green and yellow, level 2, red, level 3, red and yellow. Not going too heavy, otherwise people start to lose their form in that one. But you can add that horse kick jump in if you wanted to. So things to take away for jump board. First thing is making sure that the springs are not too light, so people are suspended in mid-air for too long. It does take a lot of core stability to hold that position. Second thing would be not having the springs too heavy so that people can't fully straighten their legs on each jump. So you want a fully straightened leg. If it's too heavy, they won't be able to get all the way out there before the springs start to pull them back in. Shuffle yourself all the way down to the base of the carriage so you can hold on, making sure people aren't holding on around the side because their fingers will get run over, so it's right down next to the hips. Neutral spine, so you've got that natural curve in your lower back, making sure the abdominals are engaged, so pelvic floor lifting up and then hip bones drawing towards each other. When you land, making sure the heels always are in contact with the jump board. And when you jump, it's heel, ball, toe. When you land, it's toe, ball, heel. Toes are never over the edge of the jump board. They're always just slightly down. So just a centimetre or two down is fine. Making sure that you can ground those heels. So you're not just jumping from the toes and taking all that pressure through the shins and knees. I would advise against Jumpboard for people with knee or ankle injuries. If you do have someone come to your class with those, you can do the same movements without the Jumpboard, just with the feet or the hand or feet on the foot bar. If people have neck or shoulder tension, avoid the upper body jumps. You can give them just regular Pilates exercises for those, and making sure that in your Jumpboard classes that the Jumpboard stays there for the whole time, so it's not getting taken out and put back in as you go. So if it's a Jumpboard class, Jumpboard stays in for the whole time. And also just making sure to check the screws on your foot bars after you've done a series of Jumpboards, because it does have a little bit of wear and tear on the foot bars from the pressure of landing. Other than that, I hope you have fun teaching your classes some Jumpboard. Making sure, once again, can't stress it enough, is don't lose the Pilates technique and fundamentals just because they're jumping. Other than that, I hope you enjoy, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye!